There we go. There we go. Hey, what do you think of the Jason Statham look?
You need a shave.
What? I need a shave? I thought you were going to say you haven't shaved your head if you weren't going for the Jason Statham look.
I was working my way up. Yeah, you're not bald enough.
And I'm not going bald.
I don't think he has a choice in that look, to be honest, John.
No, I think...
No offense to Jason Statham. But,
no, well, why would anybody want to give offense to him? Do you know, that guy is fit. I mean, he definitely is a fighter as well. He, you know, Jean-Claude Van Damme and all the rest of them, if they went up against someone like Jason Statham. Well, anyway, here we go. Let's get the man on. Here he is. And the thumbs up are coming in already. Okay, from the comments and the reactions. Yes, very good.
Comments already. Oh, heck. What have we done?
Are you trying to go up higher?
Yeah.
Do you want me to go a bit lower?
Yeah, go on.
How's that?
That's all right, then.
That okay? Hey, I love what you've been telling me about your AI teaching it Scouse. Hey, Chief.
It works so much better when it speaks and acts like you do. Trust me. Because I was trying to. Well, basically, I'll try and shorten this down. When it doesn't know something and you teach it something, it'll only remember it for you. It won't. If other people ask it that question, it'll give the same daft answer.
Yeah.
So I go, if we can just train it for me, that'll be perfect. So I have. And we get on like a house on fire now.
Well, you showed me one of the conversations and you went, "That's gear law." And he says, "Yeah, it is, isn't it? All right, kid."
It's so funny.
I love that. I mean, all we got to do is clone your voice.
Yeah, we'll work on that. We'll give him a Scouse accent.
Oh, that would be great. That would be absolutely brilliant. Anyway, let's kick off with something a little bit humorous. This is a slow burner. Tell me what you think.
Hang on. I can see think the unthinkable. Oh, that's what it says. And I read the bit at the bottom.
What do you think?
That's good.
And his thought plunge. What time is it?
Answer this one. Just answer this one. Ready? A nickel is 5 cents, a dime is 10 cents, and a quarter is 25 cents. It's a quarter after 2. What time is it?
What? Wait, what? Wait, what? I'm lost.
Come on, it's a quarter after 2. What time is it? Oh my God, come on, it's a quarter after 2.
Oh, I don't.
What time is it?
It's 2:25.
Yeah, no, it's not 2:25.
It has to be.
Bruh. You smell that? Then why are you making that face?
Can you stop?
All right, bro, don't make a big stink about it. Pick a number from 1 to 100 and I'll tell you what it means.
68.
68, that's a good one. Want me to tell you how you can use that with your wife?
Yes.
Tell her you go down on me and I owe you one, because it's not 69.
Wow. you seem very smart.
Thanks. Have fun tonight.
Is that what they say? Did he say quarter? What did he call it?
Quarter after or a quarter
Is that what
before.
he say? Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I tell you what. When I lived in Holland, it was bedlam. So they'd say quarter after. So say they said quarter after 5:30. What do you think that'd mean?
4:45.
No, 4:45, mate. Because 5:30 is apparently 4:30. And I'm like, it's not. 5:30 is 2.5, so technically that should be 2:30. You know what I mean? I was just so when my mate said meet me at 5:30 and like I didn't turn up, he wasn't happy. And I'm like, well, I'm not meant to be there for an hour. And he was like, be on the boat. And I was like, well, it's only 4:30. And he was like, no, it's 5:30. And I was like, I'm so confused.
Anyway, I went to a free speech union event last night, and
Did you get kicked out?
No. No. I met the solicitor or the lawyer for Jim Henson. Do you remember Jim Henson of the Muppets?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was nice lady. I had a nice chat with her, entertainment lawyer. Oh, yeah. And she was telling me about a time out in California, in Los Angeles, and things we were doing. And I got on very well with Mrs. Ackland. Okay.
Did you know? Did Jeanette know about that?
Yes. And Jeanette was like talking to somebody else just behind me. Okay. But I couldn't hear the conversation. But she could definitely hear mine. She said, she turned around to me. She said, I bet you've needed lawyers in your time. And I went, no. And she said, pray tell. So I told her the story of an EMI executive at a performing rights AGM. And basically, no lawyers, no nothing. I told him I was going to give him a new hairdo in the toilets.
cheaper, isn't it?
Yeah, that was it straight away. And a friend happened to be there at the time, and his name is Harry No-Neck. Great guy. And he witnessed the whole thing, and also he frightened a few people off as I was waltzing this guy towards the toilets, and I was going to give him a new hairdo. Okay, and he said, this guy turned around, this executive turned around, and he said, oh, what if I scream? And I went, go ahead.
It's difficult with toilet water in your mouth.
Please scream. Anyway, it was solved. The problem was solved, and it was all fixed up, and everything was sorted out. No lawyers, no cost, no nothing. So there you have it.
I was going to ask a daft question, but I'll rephrase it. How was your free speech event?
It was good. We spoke to a lot of people of like mind. They do not like what's going on in this country. They're not fans of the judiciary, and they're not fans of the police. And it's not because of the Free Speech Union. It's simply, that was the mood. That when people were talking and you were getting into conversations with people, they were just disgusted that you actually have to either appeal or go to court in order to enable free speech. And the Free Speech Union are one of the few people that are doing anything about it. I think it's a very, very worthwhile body to be a part of and to support, in my opinion. And I think Lord Toby Young is doing a great job, and he's got a great team around him there. Director of National Engagement, Jan, Lady in Red. Ooh. Okay. I looked at her and I said, so you're the lady in red? And she went, that was a bit obvious, wasn't it? Because she was wearing a red dress. But anyway. Okay.
Get on with some news, shall we, maybe?
Well, let's get a nice segue. And this is a skit on reform and their suspension of Tim Montgomerie. Matron.
Bring the lefties in, kick the lefties out.
Oh, yeah. That's it, men. Keep following the rear.
Yes, Captain Mainwalling.
Looks like our ZR has gone and had a tumble.
Air Warden Montgomerie, it's not funny.
What has happened here, men? Tell me now.
Air Warden Montgomerie pushed me to the floor. He wants my job in the platoon.
That's a lie. You're bullying me.
Oh, how pathetic they are. A bit like me.
All right, that's enough. Air Warden Montgomerie, you are hereby suspended.
Please, Captain Mannering, I love this platoon and gave up my esteemed career as a writer and influencer with the Conservatives.
Not good enough, Monte. Corporal Jenrick, take him away.
You'll soon be a reformed man.
I am Baron von Aaron. I am here to understand your motivation, Montgomerie.
I only briefed a few organizations. Everybody.
You briefed everybody. This is not good enough, Monty. My private investigators have made discoveries of which I shall disclose. It has been alleged, Monty, that you have said bad things about Comrade Zai Yusuf to conservative sources. Is this true?
No, of course not. I would never. Well, I have. Maybe I did, but only a few times.
Disgraceful! Utterly disgraceful! And you also wear ladies' items?
No, that's definitely not true.
Very well. In that case, your punishment shall be cancellation, bad muthing on GB News, and we shall tell all Reform fans to block you!
And in other news, Tim Montgomerie is now a bad person. We're asking all Reform supporters to block him and ignore him on social media.
Well, there is, there is something to it. I mean, we'll go with it. Reform has suspended him, I think.
Because we were told Zia and Jenrick broke bread together the day he crossed over. They were all having a right old time over dinner. It's all been very smooth. Is that still the case, or is it getting more tense, do you think?
I don't think it's the most beautiful relationship there is on earth. Zia did not talk to me for 3 months when he found out I was involved in bringing Jenrick over. We're not talking again now. It's been on off. I think this might be permanent this time, the difference between us. But he's unfollowed me on Twitter. That's the illustration of how, that's the bit.
Doesn't get more serious than that.
And then there was that tweet where Zia criticised Jenrick publicly.
Again, why? I don't know what the thinking was behind that.
Well, was there thinking, or was it just gut instinct and fury? I don't know. But there are a lot of people who are on no speaking terms with Zia, and it's nearly always Zia who initiates this. It needs to end. You cannot behave like a child in politics. I don't think he's interested so much actually in Reform curious voters. If you try and frame, I try and understand what Zia's doing. It's difficult in trying to understand the man. I think if you understand him as what he does, as he wants to succeed Nigel Farage, almost everything he does makes sense.
Well, there you go. Okay. Now, I don't know. Do you think it looks like there's something wrong with Tim there medically? It looks like
a few people have been asking that. Yeah. Well, definitely, because I don't remember him always.
It's almost as if it's like, it's like someone who's had a stroke, and they're getting back on top of it, or something else, some other progressive illness. But he's not. He's very coherent.
Yeah,
very
that's what I was
articulate.
about to say. It seems like his mind's working fine. It's just something with the body.
It's a motor. It's a motor thing. It's a motor thing.
Someone mentioned it online before, but I didn't want to be mean and start going on about it.
No, I don't. It doesn't detract from anything he's said. He's a very clever man, actually.
I mean, have they done the right thing? There's only so much you can come out and criticise people in a party before they tell you to get lost. So, I mean, I know they always bang on about Restore's a Conservative psyop, but if there's ever a Conservative psyop, well, I think he's probably sat right there, isn't he?
Well, he was the one that introduced Jenrick into the party.
And he's the one who's saying you need to now appeal to the Conservative voters, not the likes of Restore and other people. Again, Farage had it all in his hands, didn't he? He had some of the Tories, all Reform, all Restore, Rupert. Everyone was on the same page at one point, weren't they? But, well, they've ruined that, haven't they?
Yeah.
And then week by week, someone comes out criticising them again, and it's normally Zia Youssef, isn't it? So, I mean, this guy's saying Farage doesn't even know anything about it, but I mean, I find that hard to believe.
Well, I just find the whole thing a little bit strange.
Well, someone's been leaking stuff, haven't they? Because he says it wasn't him who leaked. He was suspended, but it was kept private. And then all of a sudden, someone's leaked it. And there's been quite a lot of leaks coming out before recently, hasn't there? If it's not him, who is it? Do you know what I mean? Someone is trying to stop an unrealistic, and in my opinion, probably never going to happen, coalition between Reform and Restore.
Right.
Someone's trying to push Restore and the Conservatives, aren't they? Because the Conservatives know they're toast. So there's something going on somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I kind of feel that there has to be some form of coming together, because if you look at voting intentions and see what's going on, you tell me, give me an idea what you think about what's going on here.
Well, again, it's only one poll, isn't it? But you've got 6 parties there, and 3 are apparently right. Well, 2 of them are probably right-wingish, and 1 definitely is.
Yeah.
And then the other 3 are lefties.
But I'd have put Restore Britain on higher. I'd have put them on a par with, say, the Greens, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
the Greens and the Libs, not at 4.
it's good just to see that they're now actually factored into it, because normally it's down there in others. So I mean, it says 4 nationally, but when you look at some of the elections, you've had 8, 9%.
Yeah.
Let's go somewhere in between. So they could be knocking on the door of the Lib Dems and the Greens in the near future. Well, I hope anyway. Then it's game on, isn't it? I mean, let's just say, for instance, the Conservatives managed to get themselves above Labour.
Yeah.
Why does there need to be coalitions? Why is there our votes and all that stuff? But I mean, imagine if Restore get up above the Greens and the Libs and Labour slide, and then the top 3 or 4 parties have got 3 apparently right wing, because I mean you can't call the Conservative right wing, but parties like Restore are pushing the agenda and moving the Overton window with the likes of Reform and the Conservatives. You know,
they're all vying at the moment, for people's attention. Like, for example, the Conservatives right now are attacking all the climate change enthusiasts, and they're attacking Ed Miliband and everything that's going on there, and coming up with a different policy.
And that's hard to swallow, John, because it was them dipshits that put it all into law.
Yep.
And pushed it that hard that the whole world revolves around this. Well, I'm going to call it a cult, because it is.
It's a cult that makes money for a certain group of people, certain cohorts.
Don't mention the climate scam. There's I forget the doctor's name, but just one fella's done a boss video on that, mate, where he literally he basically all these companies get money, don't they, for when they're hitting environmental goals, and it's just a big circle, and the money always ends up with them.
Exactly.
And it's not like they're not reducing much, are they? In the way of
if you
carbon
look at us in comparison to the rest of the world, I mean, do you think China's going to pay any attention to anything that we're doing?
No, nobody does. This is the problem now. We're like insignificant on the world stage, so they can keep banging about we're going to lead the way, we're going to show them how it's done with this net zero. Well, whoopee-doo, because the big powers are still drilling. In fact, they're drilling more for oil than they ever have done. And it's never going to go away, the oil thing, is it, mate? Because you can't run a war on electricity. So you're always going to need the
They've
oil.
made the electricity too expensive for the British public. There's no two ways about it. We're being attacked from different angles. But here's the reality of the truth. And Konstantin Kisin basically says it. And he's questioning how rich the UK really is and the way that the public perceive it.
The vast majority of people in Britain think that we are as rich as Switzerland, as rich as Singapore, as rich as the United States, as rich as Australia on a per capita basis. And we're not remotely as rich as any of those countries. But they think that we are. And so what I think is happening is a lot of ordinary people clearly experience that they are getting poorer. And at the same time, they think that we are like other countries. And they go, well, we've got the 6th largest economy in the world. Well, not on a per capita basis. We've got like the 27th largest economy in the world, and we're about to be overtaken by Poland. That's no disrespect to Poland. They've done very well. But for a country like Britain, that is not a flattering comparison. But nobody knows this. And so what they see is, I'm getting poorer, and then there's guys driving around in Ferraris in London and living in mansions. And that's when they say, oh, inequality, we need redistribution, we need tax the rich, tax the rich, tax the rich. And, most people are economically illiterate because it takes a lot of time to become economically literate. You have to read things, talk to people. We've been blessed in the journey of our show of talking to people who could explain it to us. Because when Francis and I started our show, we bought into many of these very same ideas. And many of the debates Francis and I have had have been about this, actually. And the process of running a small business, which is what trigonometry is, seeing the impact of taxes, seeing the impact of regulations, seeing what happens when the government makes it so much harder to hire and fire people, all of this has informed us a little bit about how the real world actually works. But if you don't understand any of it, if you just think that jobs sort of grow on trees magically by themselves, then it becomes very tempting to say, well, there's a bunch of rich people who are exploiting everyone, and if we just take their wealth, everything will be hunky-dory. People don't understand that when you do that, all those people will leave, the jobs will leave with them, and you take a low productivity country like Britain and you make it less productive, and you therefore make it less prosperous.
Now, he said the key thing there. a low productivity country like Britain.
Yeah.
They excel in weapons and defense. That's one of the few industries that really are world leading. I mean, you can tell because Russia are complaining about British-made drones being used by Ukraine. But that's it. But tell me what else. So we've got this complete narrative that we are the 6th largest economy and that we're doing so well. But then we've got DEI attacking the people going for jobs, and they're giving the jobs to people that aren't really qualified, but they're qualified from a DEI point of view.
And that has consequences, as we saw with that David R. David.
Jason.
Come on,
Jason.
Sorry, why did I keep saying David, don't I? I said it yesterday. Yeah, the GDP thing, mate. I mean, like he said, do these people who are like literally promoting this shit, do they not understand? Because let's say, for instance, you want it per capita, really. So imagine if you divide everything up in the country between each person, and that's what you've got. Then every time someone comes in the country, that's less and less and less and less. So it doesn't matter if the economy in itself is huge. That's not really helping people individually, is it?
Well, if they're not putting in, because this is figures. Look at that.
I was just about to do a segue with you. And this is the problem. You can't, before we mention that one, you can't take the wealth off the billionaires. We said this before. Even if you took all the assets off all the billionaires in this country, in the US, it still wouldn't fund your country's budget for 1 year. So, and plus, it's all tied up in assets. And here we go again. Then, how's this helping GDP? 1.3 million migrants claiming university. So, how many have we actually got then? It'd be nice to get a figure on exactly how many migrants we've actually got.
They won't release the exact details.
Because they don't know, John, because they're all the illegals. They don't count them, will they? Well, let's say there's 5 million. So a fifth of them are on universal credit. Let's say there's 10 million. So a tenth of them are on universal. That's still shocking, isn't it?
But they're not telling the whole truth because they've got all these people down. If you believed all the communists, socialists, lefties, and left-wing thinkers, these people are all doctors and engineers coming over to contribute to society. They're not. It's a complete lie. They're not.
If they were contributing to society, then wouldn't we be noticing it by now? Wouldn't we all be happy? There wouldn't be shortages in this, and maybe our per capita GDP would be up, and maybe we'd all have better quality of life. We'd have more money in the economy, but we don't seem to, do we? So something tells me it's not working.
Well, here's a few things that's going on in Dearborn, Michigan.
Well, before you do, I don't know if you had the other screenshot where it said accommodation per migrant was something like was it something like 17,000 a year at one point, and then
we're going to come to that.
Oh, have you got it? Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to come to that because we're going to talk about asylum accommodation and Restore's thoughts on it and Denmark and stuff like that. But listen to this guy in America, Jake Lang. Yeah, here we go.
So you either put him down or you'll be removed. You got 1 second and you'll be removed. What do you want to do? Put him down or you're going to be... There's no books, no paraphernalia. That's the council rules.
And remember Reach Mob tried that one, didn't he, in the debate? Lawrence Fox.
Hey, let's go.
For 3 years straight, the #1 name in the country of England for newborn babies is Muhammad. Tell me that white Christians are not being invaded. How can you lie to our faces with your taqiyya? This is an invasion on all fronts. Our people are being pushed out of the workplace. We're being pushed out of city councils. That smug face of the taqiyya Muslims needs to be wiped off these people's faces. These people are looking to destroy us. These people are looking to outbreed us. The Muslims have not come here to assimilate. They have come here to steal the wealth of this land, to rape our women. What about the 250,000 women in England that were raped by Pakistani Muslims, and they got little slaps on the wrist from the woke Democratic regime. The Muslims are being used by the Democrats to instill socialism in America.
Wow. Okay, now.
Wouldn't you call that being colonised, maybe?
Well,
I tell you what, you'd be pushed to say that in this country, wouldn't you? I mean, like, you know.
Yeah, if he went to a council meeting over here and started saying that.
Oh, they'd have the police. Like Kelly J. Keane, she was saying similar stuff, and well, we probably all have at some point, and then.
But this is America, and now they're saying it. Now this is coming up as August the 18th at Dearborn. Now we all know that Dearborn is actually a Muslim-controlled area, and quite simply, it's pissing people off because they are trying to enforce Sharia law.
Yeah, Didn't he get attacked? Or he had some beef, didn't he?
He got stoned.
Yeah.
He got stoned. Now, I mean, I heard that there was like 10,000 bikers all going to Dearborn. And they were going to go for a meeting to just let everybody know what they think. Now, I think what's going to happen is when the Muslims suddenly find out and they get confronted with superior force, I think that's when the message is going to get through to them. You know, and it's coming. You can see it happening there, and the feeling that I'm getting here is very, very similar. Now, I'm not looking to incite anything. It's what I'm observing. It's my opinion. People are not assimilating.
Oh, well, just remember when the Southpaw thing happened and this, what was it, Muslim Defence League, whatever, were all running around with bats and weapons, and they were told just go and put them back in the mosque. Makes you wonder what's in there, especially when you look at France and Germany, who for the last 10 years have been having to close mosques down because they found stashes of weapons. It's slightly worrying, isn't it? And then you've got the likes of Iran and other dangerous groups and ISIS and people saying, we're literally shipping people over your border constantly on these boats.
Yeah.
And then you're hearing of something I think Connor Tomlinson put out last year where they seized a boat coming from France with guns and all kinds of stuff on it.
Yeah. Well, Denmark has actually just said no. Here's what's going on there.
See, my point with that was, before we move on, if you've got groups in this country and they are acquiring weapons, and I keep saying this, and we were warned by some of the Israeli intelligence that attacks like October the 7th are being planned in our country. So how the hell would we cope if someone just popped up in a town or city centre and just started throwing grenades and shooting people?
They'd probably defend them.
Well, the police had come eventually, armed police, but it could take 5 or 10 minutes for that to happen. And if these people have got automatic weapons, then, do you know what I mean? It's like this whole situation's just not good at all.
No, it's progressing in the wrong way. Here's Denmark. Listen to what they've got to say about it. Hold that thought.
Neighborhoods of Copenhagen, Aarhus, and Odense, something had gone deeply wrong. Danish was no longer the primary language on the street. Sharia-compliant social norms were enforced, not by the state, but by community pressure. Women who left their houses unveiled were harassed. Young men who questioned the faith were threatened. Schools were reporting that Danish children were being told by their classmates that their country, their culture, their civilization was inferior. These were not parallel societies in the sense of harmless cultural diversity. These were enclaves operating under a different legal and moral framework than the Danish constitution, a state within a state. Denmark's response to this was hardly subtle. In 2018, they banned the burqa and the niqab in all public spaces. First offense, you have to pay 1,000 kroner. Second offense, 10,000 kroner. The European press flipped out. They called it Islamophobic. Human rights organizations demand Denmark reverse course. Denmark did not reverse course. If anything, they doubled down. Then came what's called the ghetto laws, designated neighborhoods placed under special legal rules where the same crime committed inside these so-called ghettos carried double the punishment of the same crime committed outside. Toddlers as young as 1 year old in ghetto-designated areas were required by law to attend 25 hours per week of mandatory state daycare, where they were taught Danish values, Christmas traditions, democratic norms, gender equality, and parents who refused, they lost their welfare benefits. The bureaucrats in Brussels had an absolute conniption. The European Court of Justice actually eventually ruled the policy discriminatory, but Danish officials kept going.
There you go.
Well, we've got those parallel societies going on.
That's right.
And obviously when Rupert Lowe was being interrogated, so to say, by the media
Correct.
about it, he tried to explain. I mean, these people are forgetting about the Select Committee into Sharia law back in, I think it was 2016, 17, where obviously there was Muslims put on the committee, so they steered it away from Sharia law and made it about the Sharia councils, and then the fact 90% of the things that go on there, it's to do with marriage. What about the other 10? What are they to do with?
Yeah.
And either way, that the result of that was, and I remember the guy's words, were that they were found to be derogatory towards women. I mean, for example, there were some of the witnesses that came forward, gave testimony to say that they tried to divorce their Muslim husbands, but the imam at the mosque was like, no, you need to work it all out. And the woman was saying, well, there's a restraining order on him. He tried to strangle me. And he's like, no, you're going to have to speak to him and sort it all out. So therefore, then women are trapped in them relationships, aren't they? And then if they're going through the Sharia councils at a certain age, it's the men who are going to get the custody of the children.
This is going to be the big fight. This is going to be the big fight. And
why have we got that at all on our shows, John?
Why do we
have
quite
to
right.
fight?
Why are they doing it? I mean, for them to actually put out these documents to give to the asylum seekers to tell them that, sex has to be consensual between the adults, otherwise it is called rape. I mean, it's just the Home Office have just admitted that they're putting people across who are rapists. They're unsuitable to be allowed into this country.
Okay, like I said to you before, what goes on in someone's brain? I mean, it's not the first time. I remember there was a school near something down in the southeast, and they had to put letters out and then go and tell the immigrants that there's an age of consent in this country, and you're not really meant to be following and filming girls and stuff. So it's not like this is the first time this has been said. So everyone knows the consequences of these people coming over. Yet some people just don't want to rein it in at all. But are still happy to put letters out telling them, please don't rape people and please stay away from the children. It's like, seriously?
Please?
What goes through someone's brain to comprehend that?
Well, here's Rupert Lowe, and he feels that the Islamification in this country should be reversed. No doubt about it in his words and the way he articulates it.
We were saying it way before him, weren't we? So
yeah, absolutely.
It's good someone.
Restore Britain has committed to reversing the Islamification of Britain, and that will not change. The level of influence that Islam is exerting, even now, on our Christian way of life is unacceptable. Any future cooperation must include the banning of both halal and kosher slaughter, the burqa, cousin marriage, mass dominating public Islamic prayer, Sharia courts, and any other barbaric foreign practices that have no place in our high trust society. Britain is a Christian country, and we must ensure it remains that way.
There you go.
See, there's still so much more to do. I won't go on that big rant I went on last time about all the proof that of Islamification, but a couple of things relating to the video. You've got to, all them things are great, but something like what Denmark did needs to be done in those areas that are dominated
Birmingham.
by religion, because
Birmingham.
That'll only continue no matter what burqas you ban and what halal. They'll still wear them. They'll still murder their animals in the garden and stuff. it's going to be tough with these ghettos trying to split them up. But if you don't, they're only going to grow bigger, and there's only going to become more.
That's right.
So good start from Rupert, but I think there's other things that really need to be done. But I've been with a party before who were focusing on Islam, and I think to go straight in hell for leather, it kind of puts people off, I'm afraid. But you've got to start somewhere.
Well, yeah, and as far as I'm concerned, I mean, with the Greens and a few of the other parties, I mean, if you think about it, as that guy in Dearborn said, I mean, if I watched the whole thing, he said, basically, they're going to be all nice to all the homosexuals until they've got control, and then they're going to start throwing them off the roofs.
The thing is, they're not nice though. I bet you if you go to a Green Party event, I bet you they're not all mixing and talking, and I bet you haven't got the trans lobby chatting with the Muslims who are all sat on their own. It just won't be like that, mate. It'll be more in the Muslim areas. You'll probably have Muslim candidates for the Greens, and then you might get a few of the silly, drippy liberals coming out to help them, But
it's just...
I can't see them all getting on like a house on fire, mate, because I don't know, where was it? And all the Muslims were walking down the street, and some lefty said, "Come on, we're all on the same team," and he just went, "We're not."
No,
they're not hiding it. They'll take that party over eventually.
No, it's got to be legitimate force to actually stop these people from progressing in the way that they are, and you just got to say no. I mean, here's a guy. He's a friend of ours, a fella called English Ned. And, this is a quick comment before we go on to who's making the most money out of asylum. But here he is at Chester Pride, close to home.
Listen, I'm walking in the street. Yeah, but don't fucking touch me.
Aren't you sweating in them?
A little bit.
I can hear your arse cheeks squeaking.
It's funny, Ned.
The martial art. Well, he's like Stoke-on-Trent's answer to Steven Seagal. He just fucking singed my fucking bum lips.
Yeah, baby!
Hello. I'm a father. I'm going to bring my kids to this perverted, degenerate event. She's shouting, "Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me?" What, you mean like hot like a fucking fresh donut? Is it Sid from Slipknot?
Stroppy look here.
Oh, I don't think I can handle another stroppy look today.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are in Chester today. We are.
There you go. Hey, Ned, good to see you. Good to see you going. Everybody give him a sub. Because he's funny. He's
English Ned YouTube.
English Ned on YouTube.
Check out that video; it's good. And he's got a new tattoo as well. And it was for the haters. So he's got a new tattoo for the haters.
I know.
Because he loves the haters because they help contribute to his to his earnings by watching his stuff.
He's making a point. I mean, we are going to be doing a program on what's going on with Chester Pride. Mark, just give us a quick breakdown of what's going on. We'll get back onto the asylum thing.
Yeah, I was going to do something on the Story House this week, but I might have to. I think it probably needs a podcast of its own, and some of that does branch off into Pride. But what I noticed about some of the previous Pride events, obviously we've had Mandy Clare on before, and she showed some of the stuff there that's on view and sale, and children around, and it's sexualized and it's not good. And some of the acts that are on the stage and some of the way they act and some of the things they wear. I mean, literally, she was arrested for trying to make sure that the Pride event was upholding the safeguarding measures that she'd forced the council to implement, and then got arrested while she was there. And people were whacking her with dildos, and there's kids around and everything. So,
all those charges were dropped.
Yeah, it was another witch hunt, wasn't it? It was, you shut up, we're doing what we want. The act on the stage even literally took the piss out of the safeguarding measures the council was trying to implement. Basically said, no, we're not doing it. And Mandy was the only one to stand up to it. What I noticed, I looked through some videos from Pride from Chester last year, and they were handing out leaflets to people on the parade, And I noticed something. There was a certain camera angle, and it went on for quite a while they watched the whole parade, and there was the usual, the police and all the different people and the council and everyone with the banners. But there was a group of children stood at the side on that video, and I've got it. Maybe we'll show it at some point. You can guess who they made a beeline for every time a group walked past with leaflets, can't you?
Yeah.
This same group of children just got hammered with attention by these people walking past.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, you just walked past hundreds of adults. Why didn't you give them the leaflets? Why are you making a beeline for the kids? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And look, yeah, it might be a bit of fun and it might not be too bad. But when you look at San Francisco, when they were literally performing oral sex and urinating on each other in public,
that
we went to the police and said, can you do something about it? And the police went, oh, no, we're just here to protect the event from outside, you know. And it's like, but there's people in there and there's children can see and they're urinating on each other and sex acts in public, and the police were just like, not interested. So if we don't curb it, it's getting a little bit like, remember, then we touched on London. And there was the guy, I forget what his name was, and he was walking around with his big willy hanging out, but with a sock on it. And it's like, is that another step? What next
Oh, they
year?
just keep on pushing it and pushing it and pushing it.
Remember, we went on X and we put in hashtag London Pride.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff we found was there was a room somewhere where the gays were going to meet and just all go for it. And it's like, and there was pictures of men's penises all over X for Pride, and I was like, whoa, really? It's just going to get worse, I'm afraid, the longer it's left unchecked.
Well, okay, save that for the separate
Sadly.
cast.
Because before you do, because they are just one point. When I lived in Holland, right, they had this 25 years ago, mate. There was none of that shit there, mate.
No.
None of that. It was just gay and lesbians, just
That's
having a great time. All right, there was some. You mate, oh god. I mean, go on, I'll tell you. I've never seen him do this, but I knew a lad over there. Yeah, he was gay, but then he walked into the pub for Pride and he was dressed like a woman and he was going, Mark, and I just ignored him and he was like, Mark, what's up? And I went, Blaine, do us a favour, just piss off when you're dressed like that. And he was like, what? I went, come and see me again tomorrow. I was just freaked out, mate. Just come in dressed in the suspenders and I was like, what the? But there was none of that. Oh God.
Yeah, I get you.
What we've been seeing, you know what I mean? It was just a celebration, not a indoctrination.
All right. Well, before you do anything else, let's get back onto asylum accommodation. Here we go. Now, this is a public profit being made, and it's quite obvious.
Chris Murray.
Thanks very much for coming today. So the statistics tell us that in 2020, the average cost was $17,000 per asylum seeker per year to the Home Office for the accommodation provided by your three companies. By 2024, that had risen to $41,000 per asylum seeker per year. How do you account for that huge growth? And do you know what proportion of that per asylum seeker per year by 2024 was going in profits to your companies? I'll show it one by one.
Start with me again?
Yeah.
No problem at all, I'd be happy to. So, yes, in terms of profit for us, I can only talk for Clear Springs, of course, but our profits on average are around 6.9%. Contractually, we're only allowed to make just over 5% in profit before that's then shared back with the Home Office as part of the profit share mechanism. So anything over and above that amount would go back. So our margins have gone up slightly. We've gone up over the 5 years from around 3-4% to, as I say, around 6.9, with anything over.
That's not the full story.
Back.
Well, how much is that in money?
So, Mr. Lakey from Clear Springs, your founder recently entered the Sunday Times rich list because the profits from his fortune increased by 35%, which is kind of an analogous number to the increase we've seen on the asylum contracts. Are those two facts related?
I can't really talk to kind of the wealth of Graham King, the chairman, and where he might make investments. But as I said before, what's important to note from our perspective is that the money is in the group bank account, ready to be invested back in. So if you look at the profits we made over the last 5 years, which is about 300 and odd million. altogether over that 5-year period. Again, the majority of that is still ready to invest back in.
Ready to invest, but do you actually reinvest it? Has
Some
that
of
happened so far?
Some of it has been reinvested
How
already,
much?
and some of it's ready to go. I don't have those
You
figures.
don't know,
with me.
right, okay. Now, there's been reports of 17 million paid by Clear Springs to an offshore consultancy
Here
with
you go.
links to your owner. I wonder if you could shed any light on us for that and give us any explanation.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So BSS, Bespoke Strategy Solutions, is the company in question. They're UAE registered company. They are owned by Graham King, outright our owner. And BSS invoices Clear Springs Group for services provided by Graham.
Oh, this is just like Starbucks. Exactly the same thing. They pay a royalty for the use of certain things and certain, the name. And Starbucks, get a shed load of money shoved in to an offshore company or to a company in another country, based like, I don't know, it could be in one of the, like Dubai or one of the oil-rich companies. And, where they don't pay tax. This is just incredible.
So, is this correct? I tried to write some of them down. So, 300 million, that's what they took.
Yeah.
And they're saying they keep 6% of that.
Yeah.
Which is 18 million, yeah?
Yeah.
Not a bad make-out, is it? Especially if their boss is probably sounds if he's getting 35%. Like
he's getting 70 mil. He's getting 70 million.
So basically, he's probably got his fingers in loads of these little pies where he hasn't just got Clear Springs. He's probably... And then my next question is so that 300 mil goes to... Well, most of it goes to the Home Office. What are they doing with that?
They're not doing anything because it's still in an account. Let's just listen a little bit more to what he says.
It finally does. What are the Home Office spending that money on? Well, I wonder.
It's not ring-fenced. No talk of ring-fencing at all.
No, it'll go straight.
I don't think we recognise the values necessarily, but that's what the chart is for.
What are
it's
those
for the group
services? Sorry, I
company.
wasn't clear.
So that's strategic solution services. So they're services provided by Graham as the chief exec to the group. So they're not part of Clear Springs Ready Homes. The payments don't come from Ready Homes. They come from the Clear Springs as a group company.
Which Clear Springs Ready Homes is part of?
Yes, but it's part of the group. But the payments and the to the Home Office and the profit share payments are calculated without any of that.
And just clarify again, what is a strategic service?
So the strategic services to the group, so providing strategy to the group of companies, among other things.
That's kind of hard to understand, but thanks anyway.
Okay, no problem.
It's not really, is it? It's basically they've set up loads of companies to make money off the taxpayer to ship.
That's right. It's taxpayer-funded, a public profit.
And then some of them are taking jobs out to go and advise all those things that they're already involved in anyway and getting even more money. Is that probably sums it up, does it?
This is just like the PPE all over again.
And then I bet you when we look further into it, we're going to find out who's giving these contracts to whom, aren't we? And then we're going to find a shit mess, like you just said, because you just got my mind going with the PPE. So that guy he's mentioning his boss, wonders who's giving him the contracts and what the connection is there.
Jesus.
So how are they making a profit? Are they making a profit off public money and then giving all that money back to the Home Office? Because this sounds like
they're not giving it back. They're siphoning it off, and that money is going out of the country. So it's public money which is disappearing out of the country into individuals' pockets. It's just like that. It's just a fucking scam.
When you've got the politicians in there going, sorry, this is confusing. That's the whole trick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because if you can confuse the hell out of people and overload them with shit and just make a mad web of bollocks you can't figure out, then how'd you get to the bottom of it all?
Well, here's Restore's commentary on the asylum support. And this was an article that you sent in, Mark, to actually discuss. So here you go.
Which puts to bed they're not going to stop this stuff. It's only going to get worse.
It's only going to get worse.
Mm-hmm.
A new programme for illegal immigrants, or the Asylum Support and Accommodation Programme, as it's called, has appeared quietly on the official Find a Tender website, where the government is planning the operational arrangements for asylum support and accommodation on a multi-year basis that extends into the next decade. Rupert Lowe stumbled across this programme and the findings are pretty shocking. Today, I'm going to take you through this exact program and notice. We're going to find out what it says, what it covers, and what it actually means. So first, let me show you what the document actually is. This is not a full tender yet. It is what is called a preliminary market engagement notice under the Procurement Act of 2023. Its purpose is to inform the market that the Home Office intends to re-procure a major package of asylum support and accommodation services. The programme is now called the Future Asylum Contracts Transformation.
So they're not stopping, it's obvious they're not going to be stopping the migrants coming in.
No, John, because it's just it's a revolving door, and everyone walking around that door is getting a fortune. So Clear Springs and Serco and everyone are licking their lips at this, aren't they? Thinking, oh my God, more public money to line our pockets.
Oh, this is just bad. This is why people don't understand, because it's so complicated. But it's obvious. It's public money, your tax money, being siphoned out for illegals who have no right to be in this country, whom we're giving leaflets out to say, you're not supposed to rape women. That's not the way of it in this country.
How do these people run these countries? They're morally bankrupt, aren't they?
They're totally bankrupt.
Could you imagine raking in a fortune at the cost of our literal replacement and destruction of our own country?
Yeah.
Can these people go to bed at night? And then politicians are going to continually tell us in their manifestos and on the news, like, we're going to fix this problem. Well, it's lies, lies, and more damn lies, I'm afraid. It doesn't matter. Whatever politicians, especially the government now, open their mouth now, and you look at this, you know damn well they're not going to fix nothing, because it's going to go on for another,
It's money. It's money.
Years, at least.
Yeah. They're a little bit more.
Problem, yeah. Brilliant.
Fact. It will replace 4 existing sets of contracts. The asylum accommodation support contracts, which we've covered extensively before, the advice issue reporting and eligibility service, the bridging accommodation and travel services, which we've also covered, and the asylum support payments system. The notice states that the Home Office is seeking suppliers who can deliver 8 core functions. And I'm going to take you through each of them step by step, using the language of the official document so that our opponents, whether that be on the left or now the right, are trying to, trip us up on. So number 1 is the accommodation provision, where it identifies, acquires, and maintains a diverse range of safe, suitable and legally compliant accommodation within agreed timescales and regions, quote, to meet the varied needs of asylum seekers, end quote, and support community integration, so integrating the illegal migrants into various communities across England and beyond. Number 2, the accommodation management, to maintain those properties to define standards throughout their life cycle, including maintenance, temporary housing, and complaint resolution, so that asylum seekers have a safe, suitable, and responsible living environment, all being paid for by the taxpayer. I recently uncovered how much the asylum contracts and how much it's cost the taxpayer over the last few years, and it's billions and billions of pounds of your money. Next, we have transport, to arrange and deliver a 24/7, 365-day transportation service that is safe, timely, and responsive, using suitable vehicles and professional drivers for asylum seekers, their dependents, and permitted belongings.
Just taking the piss at this point.
Number 4, sustenance. Provide interim support through food vouchers or cash, including the issue of food vouchers, until a Section 4 payment card is provided or replaced. Number 5, safety and security. Implementing training, incident management, cross-provider collaboration and vetting to ensure the safety and security of staff and asylum seekers. Number 6, audit and assurance services. Monitor provider compliance and performance through inspections, desk-based reviews and data analysis, and produce evidence-based reports. Number 7, service user assistance to ensure asylum seekers receive care, accessible information and support, quote, throughout their asylum journey from initial application and arrival at accommodation to integration into the community, including help accessing local services. And number 8, well-being and safeguarding. Establish communication channels with partners, deploy specialist safeguarding staff where concerns are identified. Conduct
Jesus
regular welfare
Christ.
checks on these illegal migrants.
Yeah, they don't even do welfare checks on the homogenous. Look, John,
I know. Did you hear about that? You know that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's
Jesus
kinda what
Christ!
it is.
That elderly person that died because somebody didn't do the welfare check, and everybody went, "Not my problem, Gov.
Oh, well,
Not my
who
problem."
cares? Yeah, she's old. Who gives a shit?
That's right.
So basically, what the whole pattern here is, so they'll change the language. These people are criminal migrants. The first act they did when they came into our country is broke
Got
the
rid
laws.
of the
They are
papers.
criminals. But what they do is they call them all asylum seekers, which kind of changes the narrative. And then they tell you, oh, we're going to stop this immigration. I know you're upset about it, but it's not for the reasons we want it stopped. It's so we can find more safer routes for these poor asylum seekers to come through. So that's what's going to happen now, isn't it? They're just going to call them all asylum seekers. None of them are a problem. They're all here for a better life. No matter what they say, that's the thing. Then they're going to make safer routes for them because, oh my God, everyone's fuming about the boat crossings. That's not the reason we're fuming. It is, but the whole...
Yeah, they're distracting. They're distracting.
So they're going to open more legal routes, and now they're going to put a whole process in place to then fund all that.
They're
Again,
evil. They're
they are
absolutely fucking evil. The government, the Conservatives, who are now all talking, yes, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and all the other... They're fucking evil. And the same with Labour. That guy, Lord Monckton, do you remember him when he said nobody should vote Labour? They're evil.
Remember when we went through Labour's integration plan? It probably wasn't called that, but remember, and nowhere in it did it deal with any of these, what we talked about before, the areas that are overwhelmingly foreign.
Yeah.
Here's a question. So how would you integrate 1,200 mostly male migrants from Africa and the Middle East into a town of 300 people?
Oh.
How does that work?
They take it over. That's what's going to happen.
You know, like that dipshit said, well, we're going to need brothels for them, aren't we? Dear God.
Edwina Curry. Oh, my
That's the
God.
one. Yeah, sorry, yeah. Yeah, just something tells me even the prostitutes in the brothel wouldn't be safe. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, I mean, that's risky. So there you go. That's the plan. They changed the language. They're all poor asylum seekers. Oh, we'll stop the boats and we'll find safer routes. Oh, we'll get them out the hotels. You're all fuming, then we'll put them near your houses.
You'll see it in Ireland. That's where it's going to kick off. It's already there. They're keeping a lid on it in the mainstream press. But we know that there are lots of things going on, and the Garda and Police Services Northern Ireland have got their hands full at the moment because there is shit going down, and they know it. Okay, so it is going to come. It's going to kick off at some point in the future here. We don't want it to, but they are actually pushing that agenda. They want control. They want it all. You know, like that guy said in Dearborn, they want communism and socialism to be brought in, and they want the control.
They don't. This has already been tried and tested in Iran. They don't want communism and socialism.
Well, they want Sharia.
That's exactly what they want. But they know they're not going to be able to force that through. So what's the next best thing? Well, you team up with your enemy's enemy, don't you?
Yeah.
And they're your friend for a bit until you chuck them off roofs. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it did kick off in Ireland, and then everyone was far right.
It's kicking off now.
But then, you know when like a jihadi does some terrorism, or gangs do what they do.
Oh, it's not terror related.
No, don't tarnish everyone with the same brush. It's not all
Correct.
Muslims. Oh, right. So how come when, you know, the British public are kicking off, how come it's not, well, don't tarnish everyone?
Correct.
You can't have it both ways,
Great
John.
point. Absolutely superb point.
I think I've actually stole that off Patrick Christie, who said it in an Oxford debate, and it was brilliant, mate.
And he's had a load of death threats.
Yeah. He basically said you can't have it both ways. You're hypocrites. You can't say, oh, it's only a tiny minority when it's your religion, but then when it's something to do with us, it's you're all your flags and you're all racist. It's like, well, Because that's what they were saying. No, anyone flying your flags, it's a sign, innit? Deporting everyone. It's like, well, mostly no.
We got to get these people out. Got to get them out. Okay.
It's quite a lot to get out. So.
Oh, we got to get them out and deport them. Well, anyway, right. Great show. Thanks very much for all your input there and the articles that you sent through, sir. Okay. And before you do, we're going to go on, and this is the end vid, and we're going to see everybody on Friday. Okay. We're seeing everybody on Friday. Before you open your mouth, before you say anything, but before you do. Right. All right now. Here we go. This is the Remigration Cruise Line from the British Patriots. I love them. You'll love this.
If only, I'm going to love it. I can tell already.
You will love it. You will love it, sir. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Remigration Cruise Lines.
Oh, well,
this is your one-way sailing from Dover. Destination home. Please stow your grievances under the bunk and switch off any activist streak. Life jackets under the seats. You'll need them more where you're going. Suitcases rolling down the gangway, headscarves fluttering in the channel breeze. No more benefits, no more free rides, just open ocean and a one-way ticket, please. From London streets to the port of call, captains on the bridge, he's heard the nation's call. Wave goodbye to the queues and the housing lists. The welcome's expired, enjoy the mist. Remigration Cruise Line, sailing you back. One-way voyage, no return track. Cultural enrichment, we've had quite enough. Now it's sun, sand, and family stuff. Remigration Cruise Lines, feel the swell, making Britain British again. What a deal! No fuss, no drama, just wave and say bye. Remigration Cruise Lines, the best on the tide.
I want to be in the backing singers for this.
Demonstration. In case of resistance, remain seated. No
Well,
diving
could
from
be
the
where the
exit
colonizers and
benefits.
take no
Ended the
slaves,
ship's
then-
already paid economy. Cabin to the land that you made.
people
From
back.
Birmingham to the open blue. From
reverse,
Glasgow docks, we're clearing the queue. Look out the porthole as the white cliffs fade. You'll never come back, the decision's been made. Remigration Cruise Line, sailing you back. One-way voyage, no return track. Cultural enrichment, we've had quite enough. Now it's sun, sand, and family stuff. Remigration Cruise Lines, feel the swell, making Britain British again. What a deal! No fuss, no drama, just wave and say bye. Remigration Cruise Lines, the best on the tide.
Just imagine without certain religions, left-wing ideology, we'd have nothing to talk about.
Engines thrumming, anchors away. The channel's wide and the course
Hold on a
is
second.
set today.
Say that again.
But just imagine the country without a certain religion and a certain left-wing ideology, and we'd have nothing to talk about, and everything would probably be fine.
Remigration's the ticket straight to
Just
the
saying.
shore. Remigration Cruise Line, sailing you home. One-way ticket across the foam. No more petitions, no more town. Just across the sea and then anchors down. Remigration Cruise Line, hear the horn. Making Britain British from dusk till dawn. Wait from the deck as the coastline shrinks. Remigration Cruise Lines, the ship that never sinks. Thank you for sailing with Remigration Cruise Lines. Please collect your belongings and don't come back. Bon voyage. Bon voyage.
Love it.
Thanks for watching. We had a blast making that one. If you enjoy our videos as much as we enjoy making them, please subscribe, give us a like, a share, and if possible, a hype. And you can now also join our members area, where you will get a first look at new videos before they're released to the public.